crusaders licking their wounds, many expected Algirdas and Kestutis to finally clash over who should be the sole ruler of the country. Yet again, their unprecedented loyalty to one another kept the peace, allowing the brothers to focus on expanding their realm. To the southeast of Lithuania lay the city-states of the former Rus. The Tatar Yoke weighed heavily on these once flourishing cities. 100 years of exorbitant tributes to the Golden Horde had bled them dry, while the Khans built golden palaces on the banks of the Volga. With the Horde weakened by internal disputes, many of the oppressed cities welcomed the Lithuanians as liberators. But some were not so eager to simply replace one overlord with another. The inhabitants of the newly independent city of Kiev saw the Lithuanians as the greater threat and sought an alliance with their former Tatar masters. A move that Algirdas and Kestutis would not leave unanswered. The Lithuanian army marched south with determination, storming the principalities of Chernigov and Pereslavl in quick succession. The brothers aimed to face the Golden Horde and its allies on the steppe. A bold move, and a tremendous risk that none had dared to take before. Despite their internal squabbles, the battle-hardened Tatar-mounted archers were still considered invincible. But Algirdas and Kestutis were determined to prove otherwise.
Kiev is not far away, but its garrison refuses to hand over the city. Stay here in Smolensk, my brother, to secure our advance. I will see to it that the Kievans change their attitude towards us.
Eimi, supratau, klausau viešpatie, supratau. Ką įsakysi? Tavo valia. Eimi, klausau viešpatie, supratau. Pultie, mušapi, pirmyną. Eimi, klausau viešpatie, supratau. Eimi, supratau. Pultie. Tavo valia. Eimi, klausau viešpatie, supratau. Tavo valia. Klausau viešpatie, supratau. Eimi, klausau viešpatie. Mušapi. Pultie. Pirmyną. Ką įsakysi? Eimi, supratau, klausau viešpatie.
The residents of Kiev have surrendered, leaving the city in our hands. Time is of the essence. We must strike quickly if we want to defeat the Golden Horde.
So, Kiev fell to the Lithuanians. Algirdas and Kestutis are most unwise to take what rightfully belongs to the Khan.
Do not worry about supplies, Algirdas. I will instruct my laborers to procure whatever is necessary to keep the flame of war burning. Just keep the Golden Horde's raiders away from us. Here. Take what I can spare. I hope it is enough for now. These people will work for you, my brother. Tell me which resources you need the most, and I will do my best to gather them.
Stone, please.
I see. You need more stone to build walls, towers, and castles. I will procure the necessary building materials.
Eimi dirbtų.
I will try to fulfill your wishes, Algirdas. My laborers will now focus on mining gold.
It is time to smash some skulls! Swing your flails and give them hell!
I will procure the necessary building materials.
Tatar pirates plague the Dnieper River. If we drive away this blight, we could establish a trade route and send our merchant vessels to Smolensk.
Tavo valia, pirmyną.
Let the carnage begin! The
Sojusz?
Lithuanians will
Aš
regret
pasiruošęs.
setting foot
Supratau.
in our domain.
Klausau.
Make good use of these resources.
Ką sakysi? Eimi statytų.
Eimi statytų. Eimi statytų. Aš pasiruošusi. Sveiki.
Klausau.
Ride,
Supratau.
Keshiks, ride!
Eimi dirbti.
Anyone foolish enough to venture into our steps will earn nothing but a bloody death!
Sakysi? Eimi. Supratau. Tuojau.
Our scouts just discovered that 3 bays command the Golden Horde's forces. Slaying these commanders will throw their armies into disarray and make the fight much easier for us.
Supratau. Ką sakysi? Klausau. Eimi. Pulti. Tavo valė. Pirmyną. Sveiki. Eimi. Klausau. Supratau. Eimi. Tuojaus. Klausau. Klausau. Supratau. Klausau viešpatė. Aš pasupratau.
You need more food supplies. Good. I will instruct my men to gather more food.
We sank all of the pirates' ships and destroyed their hideouts. Our boats can now safely navigate the river.
Make good use of these resources.
Ką sakysi? Eimi. Supratau. Klausau viešpatė. Eimi. Klausau. Eimi. Klausau viešpatė. Eimi. Klausau viešpatė. Supratau. Klausau viešpatė. Tavo valėje. Užšapi. Ką sakysi? Klausau. Tavo valėje. Eimi. Klausau viešpatė. Pulti. Ką sakysi? Eimi. Užšapi. Pulti. Supratau. Eimi. Klausau viešpatė. Tavo valė. Klausau viešpatė. Pirmyną. Klausau viešpatė. Supratau. Eimi.
One of the Golden Horde's armies has been crushed. Do not let up now, men. Soon the entire steppe will be in our hands.
Klausau pirmyną. Klausau viešpatau. Ką sakysi? Pirmyną. Tavo valė. Klausau viešpatau. Užšapi. Klausau. Eimi. Supratau. Pulti. Tavo valė. Eimi. Supratau. Klausau. Eimi. Pirmyną. Supratau. Klausau. Eimi.
Kutluk Bay fell to our blades. The Bulgar wing of the Golden Horde will now be much less of a threat.
Eimi. Klausau. Viešpatau. Užšapi.
Demetrius is dead. Without their prince, the Tatar division of the Golden Horde will be a mere shadow of its former self.
Ką sakysi? Tavo valė. Klausau viešpatė. Pirmyną. Ką sakysi? Užšapi.
Make good use of these resources.
Ими, продов. Ими.
Two of the Golden Horde's armies are shattered. Only one remains.
Кайса кисе, ими. Супродов. Пойдя. Кузо. Термина. Кайса кисе, Мушапе.
How on earth did the Lithuanians overcome our invincible horse archers? Everyone, pull back and retreat to the Crimea!
Тававалия.
We often call members of the Golden Horde Tatars, but in reality, the Horde consists of a multitude of Turkic peoples. Among its ranks are flail-swinging riders from Volga, Bulgaria, Cumans from the Kipchak steppe, and Mongols from Siberia. Such a diverse crowd of peoples and cultures, all united in humiliating defeat at the hands of Algirdas. When the Lithuanian army moved south, crossing the Dnieper into Podolia, the Beys of the Golden Horde scrambled to stop them. But it was to no avail. Armed with spears and swords, the Lithuanian soldiers broke the front lines of the Horde. The Tatars could not hold their formations and retreated in disarray, leaving their Khan no choice but to flee to the Crimea. The blood of horses and warriors slain by blade and arrow colored the dry grass of the steppe red. Algirdas's decisive victory established the Grand Duchy of Lithuania as a major power, bringing him both new friends and enemies. As the Golden Horde plunged towards a dishonorable end, the Rus principalities of Moscow and Tver emerged as the primary beneficiaries of its demise. While the Tatars quarreled with one another, these duchies had quietly grown into powerful states. The Grand Duchy of Moscow was ruled by a prince named Dmitri, who had succeeded in taking on the Khan of the Golden Horde through sly politics. Algirdas's recent territorial gains made him and Dmitri close neighbors, and the two men circled each other like wild beasts of prey, each waiting for the other to flinch. It was Algirdas who moved first. When Prince Mikhail of Tver sought Lithuanian aid against his Muscovite rivals, Algirdas found his long-awaited pretext. Together with the ever-loyal Kestutis, who was already showing signs of growing stale and impotent, he levied an army and marched on Dmitri's domains.
We must hurry! Mikhail and his men are about to lose their battle against the Muscovites.
Where are my Lithuanian allies? We cannot hold out much longer. Algirdas and Kestutis, there you are at last. A few moments later, and I would probably be lying dead in the dust.
Fortune is fickle. Be grateful that the Lithuanians bailed you out this time, but we will meet again on the battlefield, mark my words. Come then, back to Moscow.
It will not be long before Dmitri recovers from this defeat and raises new soldiers. We must set up a camp and prepare for a protracted war.
We will join whoever can protect us from the raids of the Golden Horde. Help us mend the holes in our wall, and we will support you.
Mikhail and Dmitri have been fighting over the city of Vladimir for years. We should occupy it and force its inhabitants to take up arms in our favor.
Eime statutum. Eime statutum. Ką įsakysi?
Sveiki. Aš pasiruošęs.
Thank you, Algirdas and Kestutis. With your help, the holes in our walls have been repaired. We will keep the horde at bay as much as we can. While you Lithuanians were fighting over the throne, I was already wrestling with the bloodthirsty descendants of the great Khan.
Aš pasiruošęs.
I advise you to withdraw while you still can.
Klausau. Eime statytų.
Ką įsakysi? Supratau.
The Tatars have gathered in front of our city. Chroniclers will tell of this battle for years.
I will not hide behind my walls and let the Lithuanians take all of the glory. Tell me where you need my armies, Algirdas and Kestutis.
Aš pasiruošęs.
I will be there.
Klausaus.
Vladimir has fallen to an enemy faction. Quickly, reoccupy the palace to take back the city.
Eime taisyti. Ką įsakysi?
Klausau. Eime kirstų. Eime taisyti.
Vladimir will now fight on our side, so long as we manage to hold the city's palace against our opponents.
We have burned one Muscovite food storehouse to the ground. 5 more are left. We have destroyed 2 food storehouses. 4 more remain. Three food storehouses have gone up in flames. We are halfway to our goal.
As you wish. My soldiers are already on their way.
Eime statyti.
4 food storehouses lie in ruins. Soon, the Muscovites will no longer be able to obtain the supplies to keep up their defense. Five food storehouses have fallen victim to our onslaught. If we destroy another one, the garrison of Moscow will have no choice but to surrender. We have burned down 6 food storehouses. Let us see if Dmitri can still rally his soldiers without sufficient provisions.
So, you can fight a little. Do not get excited too soon, Lithuanians. I still control the impregnable Kremlin fortress.
The combined forces of Algirdas and Kestutis managed twice to penetrate into the heart of Moscow. But the walls of the Kremlin brought their advance to a halt each time. Its white limestone walls proved to be an impassable obstacle. Even Algirdas admitted that the Muscovite prince had constructed a military wonder. The war dragged on for years. Neither the Lithuanians nor the Golden Horde, which intervened late in the war, could force a decisive victory. In the end, the only remaining option was to sign a treaty that allowed all parties to return home without losing face. Keeping this peace was Algirdas's last great feat. For a man so shaped and defined by war, it was an odd end. But it meant that he died undefeated. We burned his corpse according to the old custom, on a ceremonial pyre with 20 of his beloved horses and many of his favorite belongings. When the flames began to consume his lifeless body, I looked into the blaze in silence. My father had created an empire stretching from the Baltic Sea in the north to the Black Sea in the south. And I, Jogaila, would be his heir. When Lithuania was in dire straits, my father did not hesitate. He seized power and kept it. I tried to follow his example, and you can see where it has taken me. I aimed for the throne, yet I ended up in this dark, moldy prison cell. It was old, steadfast Kestutis who locked me up, calling me a traitor for coming to an understanding with our old enemy, the Teutonic Order. Yet he was the one who forced my hand. My father chose me as his successor. I was to rule with Kestutis the way that he had. But Kestutis no longer wanted to share his power. I admired him once, you know? He truly was the steadfast, a tempering influence on my father's bold, adventurous personality. But without Algirdas to animate him, Kestutis has turned into a stale, weary, reactionary leader. Now, Kestutis the stubborn clings to a throne that he no longer deserves. Like all weak rulers, he fears the younger generation. The chains on my hands prove that. But I will not be kept from my rightful inheritance. If any sense remained in that aging mind of his, he would know that my father's heart, that boisterous heart of a wild predator, also beats in my chest. And as befits the leader of a pack, I have loyal followers who will not let me rot forever in this dungeon.
We have no time to lose!
Amen.
We must deliver the ransom to free Jogaila before Kestutis changes his mind.
Klausau, viešpatie. Supratau. Mušapi.
Wicked bandits ambush harmless travelers.
Eimi, supratau.
Restoring order once we have freed Jogaila will be difficult.
Klausau, viešpatie. Supratau, viešpatie. Eimi, klausau, supratau. Eimi, supratau. Klausau, viešpatie. Klausau, viešpatie. Supratau. Eimi. Eimi. Supratau. Eimi.
You should be grateful to have such loyal followers, Jogaila. And you should be grateful that I could not bring myself to throw my beloved brother's son to the wolves. Now get out of my castle and never be seen here again!
Ką jis sakysi?
You have already brought more than enough shame on our family. Conspire against me once more, and I will not be so lenient.
Senile fool. It was a big mistake to let me go. You'll learn that the hard way soon enough.
My Duke, the towns of Trakai and Kreva remain loyal to you. I am sure the residents will happily join you if you show yourself in one of these places.
Good. Let us go then.
Well, what a surprise! Jogaila is alive!
Ką jis sakysi?
Sveiki, supratau. Tuojaus. Eimi, klausau. Eimi.
Bad news, sire. Kestutis sent his son Vytautas to keep an eye on you. He has occupied Drakai and is reportedly preparing a campaign against you.
Eimi statytų.
Jogaila, if we had foreseen that you would let yourself be duped into captivity so easily, we would probably not have formed an alliance with you. But perhaps you would like to tell us your view of things.
Eimi kirstų.
Visit us in our camp and let us talk.
Sveiki, klausau.
How dare you not accept our generous invitation?
Klausau.
This
Eimi
means
statytų.
war.
It was very honorable of you not to get involved with the devious crusaders
Ką
again,
jis
Jogaila.
svajasi, Kastum?
Instead of conniving with the crusader bandits,
Eimi
help us
statytų.
free
Aš
our
pasiruošęs.
brave brothers who were captured fighting the invasions.
Surrender, cousin. My men are already on their way and you are encircled.
Aš pasiruošęs.
Resistance
Ką jis
is
sakysi?
futile.
Eimi. Ką jis sakysi? Supratau. Tavo valia. Pulkė. Klausau, viešpatie. Pirmyną. Klausau, supratau. Eimi. Pirmyną. Pulkė. Ką jis sakysi? Pulkė. Klausau. Pirmyną. Mušapi. Tavo valioje. Ką jis sakysi? Pulkė. Pirmyną. Mušapi.
I have to admit that you fight more skillfully and tenaciously than I thought, cousin. Even if I must recover a little now, I somehow have the feeling that we will meet again very soon.
Klausau. Tavo valioje. Eimi. Klausau, viešpatie. Ką jis sakysi? Supratau. Pirmyną. Klausau. Pirmyną. Ką jis sakysi? Mušapi. Pulkė. Mušapi. Pirmyną. Mušapi. Klausau, viešpatie. Pirmyną. Supratau. Klausau, viešpatie. Pulkė.
You have not forgotten your origins, Jogaila. You have shown yourself to be a worthy grandson. We will follow you, just as we once swore allegiance to your father.
I am undone by my own nephew. I wish that I had put you away when I still could, Jogaila. He who has relatives like this truly no longer needs enemies.
We have come a long way, foreigner. We met as strangers in a filthy dungeon. And now we stand together in the throne room of Vilnius. Wolves still surround Lithuania, enemies that long for our downfall. But I shall not stray from the path down which I have started. I will rule as my father did. And one day, I shall surpass even him. Perhaps we will meet again, foreigner, if your travels ever bring you back here. But even if we do not, I have the feeling that this will not be the last time that you hear the name Jogaila, Grand Duke of Lithuania.